maybe about 7 years old, and you just had this unwavering confidence that you could do anything. And you did. You did anything and everything. You were fearless. Maybe it didn't look like this, but we all just did things. We didn't think or overthink about it. Personally, I miss having that mindset. So, what the hell happened to us? Life. Life happened. The world taught us what we should and shouldn't do. We learned what was acceptable and what wasn't, what was expected of us and what wasn't. We learned to stick to the status quo. In Sebastian Canavis's TED Talk, he stated, quote, "I was doing the things I needed to do because people were expecting me to do them, and I didn't want to do them. I didn't like them. They restricted me in so many ways." What would happen if we continued to live our lives only to meet the expectations of others without stopping to look inside of ourselves, to listen to that voice inside of us? Well, we might find ourselves in a place of misery, which can translate into our work, our schooling, and our relationships. However, I believe we all have a wanting inside of us, a yearning, a desire for more, a desire to feel more, a desire to do that thing that makes us feel most alive. A dream. So, why should you invest in yourself? Why should you be different? Why should you pursue your passions? Why experiment? Why follow your dreams? Why do the things that scare you? Well, here's what happens when you do. Here are the benefits of investing in oneself. First, a better peace of mind. You put a stop to the constant pendulum swinging around in your head. You leave the what ifs behind, and we all know how haunting the what ifs could be. Next, we inspire others. When you see somebody doing what they love, it makes you want to do the same. Now, don't get me wrong. They're gonna think you're crazy, and you may very well be crazy, but they'll admire you for it, for going after what you want. Lastly, joy. I know there can be confusion between a goal and a dream. The main difference is completing a goal makes you happy, but living a dream brings joy, and joy is long-lasting. Doing your thing is rewarding in itself. It feeds your soul. So the main reasons why you might not invest in yourself is because of your fear of failure, the apprehension that you'll waste time and money, or perhaps you just don't have the support. Sometimes people will tell you, it's not practical, it's unrealistic. Well, have you ever considered that those are the same people who probably just never tried or gave up in the first round? According to Wealth Research Group, 98% of people die without fulfilling their dreams. My aunt, Nada Cumbermack, a teacher and role model to many, said this statistic reminded her of a book she read by the late Miles Monroe. In his book, Understanding Your Potential, he stated, and I quote, "The wealthiest place in the world is not the gold mines of South America or the oil fields of Iraq or Iran. They are not the diamond mines of South Africa or the banks of the world. The wealthiest place on the planet is just down the road. It is the cemetery. There lies buried companies that were never started, inventions that were never made, best-selling books that were never written, and masterpieces that were never painted. It is in the cemetery that is buried the greatest treasure of untapped potential." I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but certainly easier because we have a leg up on those who came before us. We have something they didn't, the internet and social media. For instance, let's talk about Walker Hayes. He's a country singer who recently became more widely known because of TikTok. Yeah, TikTok. His daughter created a dance for one of his songs and posted it on TikTok. Fancy Like went viral. I'm going to show you a clip. I don't know how to play this. I think it's okay. There's no volume though. Here, So yeah, this is the dance. In an interview with WGN News, Hayes said, quote, "I've been trying to blow up my career for 18 years now. If I had known this is all I had to do, I would have done it a long time ago." And for those times that we encounter challenges and may even fail, failure can be a good thing. Dashun Wong, a professor at Northwestern University, said, quote, "Failure is found to be an essential prerequisite for success," end quote. Fear of failure isn't a logical reason not to do the things you want, because then you'll never try, and that's worse. I never thought I'd be quoting my mom to you guys, but here goes. Nothing beats a failure but a try. She tells me that like all the time. Does not let me forget it. In a TED Talk titled, "Why I Quit My Job to Pursue My Childhood Dream," Jason Lee concludes with this point: "This is the one life we get." He spoke in an experiment during which people on their deathbed were asked, what is their biggest regret? And the majority said, "I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself and not one that others expected of me." These are the words of someone who stuck to the status quo, deeply regretted it, and realized it was too late. We can't turn back time. Life is precious. We don't know when we'll take our last breath. Therefore, I challenge you to ponder these questions. What fascinates you? What is the one thing that brings you joy just from thinking about it? And how can you share it with the world? Because understand this, our gifts are meant to be shared. In other words, what is your 7-year-old self telling you? Once you figured that out, run with it. Buy that guitar, take that trip, write that book. It doesn't have to look like diving head first. You can test the waters, but make the decision to go all in. Thank you.